subscribe. Darling Radio. Watch and subscribe.
Black people would die without white people. And quite frankly, they're our only allies that we have in this world. Africans sure as hell don't like us. And quite frankly, they're the ones that sold us into slavery. And if you really think about it, we don't produce anything, we don't own anything, and we damn sure do not know how to live off the land. And with all the dysfunction that is coming out of our communities, I don't think people will want to help us. We as a community need to change our worldview, and we have to be accountable for the things that is happening within our community and actually come together and do something about it. This toxic relationship that we have with white people and this built up anger that we have against them, it needs to come to an end. I'm telling you guys, the people at the top is loving this. As we stay distracted, they destroy our country. True Americans do not care about race. And if you are a person that cares about race, then you are a part of the problem. We live in the greatest country in the world, and it's people out there that would die to be in our positions. And it's people out there that do die to try to get here. Basically, what I'm trying to say is, united we stand and divided we fall.
We are in here heavy. Speaking of tethers, I saw one tethered chick. She did a video, and she's one of these chicks. I know y'all probably seen her video. She's a wannabe Candace Owens. I think she's from the Caribbean. She's one of these wannabe Candace Owens. She just gets on Twitter, and not Twitter, but TikTok, and just makes all of these performative, derogatory comments about black people. Oh, black people are the worst. Oh, black people are so dysfunctional. What about black on black crime? Oh, we need to leave these good white folks alone. So it's all of that performative buck dancing in order to get some TikTok money. So she had a video talking about what did she say? She said without white people, black people would die. She said if white people weren't around, black people would just die. We're talking about we don't know how to live off the land. We don't know how to produce. We don't know how to build nothing and all of it. That's tether projection. That's her tether projecting from her damn failed homeland. They love, like RJ and people like that, they love projecting their failures on the foundational Black Americans. They love doing that. Let's be very clear. Foundational Black Americans, we built America. All right? We built the United States of America. We were the ones clearing the land. We actually built the plantations. We were constructing the infrastructure. We innovated the agricultural techniques. That was our own labor. The white supremacists really didn't know how to do all that stuff. We built the wealth of this country. And listen, foundational Black Americans, we had agricultural knowledge that the white supremacists didn't have. They didn't have no agricultural knowledge. They came from Europe. Europe, that's not an agrarian culture over there. That's why they were starving over there. Let's be real. Let's be very, very real. These folks did not know how to cultivate rice and all that stuff over here. We were doing that. We were teaching them how to do it. Yeah, don't tell me about we can't do this, we can't do that. Listen, we had self-sufficient Black towns that thrived after slavery. This whole thing, we would die if the whites weren't around, they were the ones latching on to us. We were trying our damnedest to get away from them. They were dragging us back on plantations, wouldn't let us go. We were desperate to get the hell away from them. And then after slavery, man, we had all types of self-sufficient Black towns all around this country that these people sabotaged. We founded hundreds of Black self-sufficient towns. Greenwood, Rosewood, Wilmington, all over the place. We farmed, manufactured our goods, ran businesses, sustained the population, all without white dependency. Miss me with that bullshit. Let me tell you something. You get Southern foundational Black Americans, all my Southern folks who got people in the South, you know what it is. If you're a foundational Black American, you got somebody in your family who built the family house. Your granddad or your great granddad built a house somewhere down in the South, like my family, that's still standing down there in Leeds, Alabama. No white folks. Yeah, our granddad, y'all who's listening, y'all granddad, y'all know good well, y'all got a granddad, grandmama, or great granddad who built a home down there by themselves. It was white people weren't helping them. We had to do that. There was a time black folks, we used to throw them houses up just like that. We used to build houses left and right back in the day. If we get sabotaged with doing that shit now, they kill us with the permit game. They got all types of janky little permits and little paperwork games that they play with us now. But yeah, we know how to build. And we got black innovators, black inventors. We created key technologies. Black inventors, they were pivotal for providing techniques of refrigeration, automation, or just all types of things we've created. We got patents for. And the white dominated institutions, they stole our stuff. They would steal our stuff. You don't steal from people who don't know what the hell they're doing. Our survival knowledge was passed through generations. Enslaved and free foundational Black Americans, we had deep knowledge of herbal medicine, deep knowledge of hunting, fishing, farming, textile production, construction. All of this was practiced. And we would have to do a lot of it in secret. We had maroon communities where we were completely independent. In fact, we were going out of our way to not let white people even know where we were in certain communities. You understand? The truth is, white society relied on black labor to survive. It was white society that couldn't survive without black people. Plantation owners, they lacked the skills to grow and process crops without black labor. Yeah. Domestic child rearing in the white households, they depended on black women. They didn't want other crazy ass white people watching their kids. They needed black women to do that, to nurture them damn kids. Come on, let's just tell the truth. You see, but see, a lot of these anti-black gatekeepers, they amplify those kind of tropes. And plus, black folks, they pay black people to regurgitate these little janky talking points. But even now, man, we still maintain a lot of things, even though we get sabotaged. You got contemporary black farmers, entrepreneurs. You got thousands of black farmers, landowners, builders who operate today, and they face systematic discrimination, but they still succeed. You understand? So let's put all of that in the right context. But let's be real. Here's the deal, because people always talk about black people leaving and what would happen if black people did this. And listen, if black people were to disappear from the United States, black people got abducted by aliens, or just something happened when just all the black people left, what would really happen to the United States? What would happen to this country if black people just disappeared? What would happen? Let's be real. Let's look at a hypothetical situation, because the thing is, in order to maintain systematic white supremacy, you have to have an antithesis, and we're the antithesis. You have to have anti-blackness. You have to have something to play off of. Listen, if black people were to disappear, it would be chaos in this country. Do y'all know that? It would be chaos. One reason why the prison industrial complex and the forced labor economy, that would collapse, because see, we get targeted with mass incarceration. So if we were to just disappear, the prison population, that would plummet, that would collapse. Private prison companies and all of the industries associated with that, because we got to understand that's big business. Them targeting us and criminalizing us, that's a business within itself. So those businesses that target us, they would start crumbling, first of all. the private prisons, the correctional officer unions, the corporations that profit from the labor, the call centers, the agriculture, the manufacturing. It would immediately financial ruin. It would destabilize rural economies, state budgets that rely on prison profits. White towns would dry up because many of their entire industries is basically prison population work, directly and indirectly. Also, we were to disappear, what else would happen? It'd be an implosion on the black hair and beauty industry. That would plummet. That black hair beauty market, that would vanish. The Koreans and the Chinese, they would start starving on that end. The Koreans would be ass out. That would mess them up. The nail shops, that'll mess them up. Because yeah, you talk about people, black people being dependent on white folks and all. And listen, when people come over here, the first thing they do is go set up shop in a black neighborhood. When all these immigrant groups come over here, they go set up shop right in a black neighborhood. So that shows you who's fueling their economy. Also, if we were to disappear, there would be a collapse of United States cultural exports like music, fashion, dance, all of our music and all of that stuff. That would collapse, right? American culture would lose its soul and global influence because other countries who mimic us, mimic the United States in style, they're mimicking foundational Black Americans. So your biggest cultural export, entertainment and all that, that'll fall off. The sports industry would collapse, right? The NBA, the NFL, all of that would collapse. Advertising revenue would dry up, merchandising sales. You understand? That would dry up. That gazillion-dollar market industry would just fall off. So many things. There'd be a domino effect. And a lot of the urban warfare policing infrastructures, SWAT teams, all that riot gear, all of these surveillance systems that's used to watch us, racial profiling technologies. There's billions of dollars in policing infrastructure that would just dry up because you need a marginalized class of people in order to keep that thing going, in order to justify having it. You always have to have a boogeyman. See, if there's no more boogeyman, that overbuilt police system would collapse. You understand? Because you can't start targeting the dominant society, because see what would happen if you want to maintain that policing system, you're going to have to start targeting other people, other white folks. And then that's going to have they're going to get into a civil war. You see, they're going to start turning on each other. It'll be a societal structural breakdown. White supremacist power depends on having a designated bottom caste. Without black people, they're going to need a new scapegoat. So that will start immediately internal infighting. You understand? And other groups start getting wiped out. They're going to start trying to break shit down on ethnic lines, and they're going to start wiping each other out. And that'll be a collapse of civil rights institutions, legal frameworks, all that stuff. Oh, it'll be crazy. And understand, a lot of people in the dominant white society, generally, they're older. See, black people are younger. The black people, we have a young population. The dominant white society, the majority of their population is older. So that's going to be janky. We're not around, and their birth rates are already struggling. Who are they going to procreate with? Yeah, when their birth rates are already struggling, and they can't really replenish them. So it'll be a real deep thing. Because see, they gotta have anti-blackness in the dominant society to use us as a scapegoat. See, anti-blackness is something that they need to project onto us. See, what they do, they project their moral guilt and historic crimes onto us. See, they have a lot of unresolved guilt over slavery, genocide, colonization. That's why they never want to address that. They always blame somebody else, and it's always, well, black folks and black crime. When they talk about black crime, that's a deflection. That's designed to deflect away from their actions. You understand? So them always deflecting onto us, um, that avoids responsibility for social decay. Rather than admit that drugs, crime, and violence are problems in the white community too, the media and the politicians, they try to overemphasize issues within the black community. So that helps white society deflect from their own opioid crisis and the whole shebang, which worsens the situation for them. So everything is all about projecting things onto us to not take responsibility for their actions. So if they were sitting here on their own and we're just not here, they would implode, it would collapse, just like it always does in Europe. Europe, they've almost collapsed and genocided themselves out of existence several times. You had the Justinian plague, you had all the plagues and diseases over there, the Black Plague. There was a plague in the 1300s, just over and over again. They cannibalized themselves, and the diseases start kicking in, and then we have to go and save them. The Moors went in there and saved them from the Justinian plague, and I've talked about that several times. But let me get some more calls in here. Let me get some more. Mohit, I don't know what I don't want to hear from you, Mohit. Let's get Jelani in here. Jelani, hop on in. Jelani, hop on in. What's going on, Jelani?
Great, great, great. Yeah, listen, the entire legal system, the entire penal system, and the entire law enforcement system would absolutely collapse
Good. Yep.
without Black Americans. And when they talk about the caucasity that they have to say that we owe them because of Black crime, the cognitive dissonance when they say that is so astronomical that they don't realize how much Black crime is profitable to their people.
Right.
Blacks are the most profitable capital. Well, Black Americans specifically are the most profitable capital, human capital, in the entire world, in the globe. Because just with the prison system and the legal system alone, do you know how many careers they will lose? And they talk about Black crime so much, but they will not reduce Black crime because they would sacrifice the very careers that most of them make livings off of.
Yeah.
And it's just so amazing to hear them always talk about Black crime, but Black crime is profitable.
Yes, it is.
It's profitable for them. And that's why the systems are how they are, because they have to keep their stock, they have to keep their inventory stocked up. So that's why they have to collude with the prison system. That's why they have to make more laws. That's why they have to have crime bills and call us super predators and do all of these things. It's the greatest projection in the world that they say that we need them when actually it's them who literally live off of our backs. And there's one reason why they will never give us, well, why they don't want to give us the reparatory damages that we are due, because they know that if you give us that economic boost, it will most definitely by default reduce crime.
Oh, yeah.
And should Blacks represent their actual population in crime, those industries would absolutely die. And America will not sacrifice its penal industries and its law enforcement industries to reduce Black crime.
Yes, sir. And thank you so much, brother. I appreciate that. Let's get DC. DC in the building. Mr. DC.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. What's up, brother?
Oh, thank you, man. I finally made it.
What's up?
Oh, my mom, I just want to say I finally got a chance. So I remember Bushmeat Barrister came on here a while ago talking about we don't got nobody. In the 21st century right now, there's a brother named Reggie Middleton with 7 patents currently in this time. And that's all I gotta say.
There it is.
Thanks. Good night.
Barrister, he argues in bad faith. He just said he's another projector. See, again, Bushmeat Barrister, he's almost like the white supremacist. He's always focusing on us to get away from the fact that he comes from a failed homeland that he's embarrassed by. He don't even like talking about his failed homeland. He's always deflecting. That's why we don't take him seriously. But anyway, let me get up out of here, family. Y'all, everybody go to hiddenhistorymuseum.com, hiddenhistorymuseum.com. Make a contribution to the Hidden History Museum and get the book Hidden Heroes from A to Z. Also go to rootworkstyle.com to get the Rootwork deodorant. Go to officialfba.com to get my book, Foundational Black American Race Baiter. Go get our album. I need to start promoting our Mink Slide album. Go get our Mink Slide albums at minkslide.com. All right. I'm up out of here, y'all. Puppy Akute, Lolo Vube to the family. Peace.
I need some more work, baby, tonight. I need some more work on me tonight. I need some more work, baby, tonight. I need some more work on me tonight. Yeah, yeah. I need some more work on me tonight. I need some more work, baby, tonight.